Welcome to Vacuum Wars and to my complete buyer's guide for upright carpet cleaners. Over the years, I've tested a lot of different carpet cleaners, and I think the most important thing to know when deciding which one to buy is not necessarily which one cleans the best, because after a lot of testing, I think they're all pretty similar in terms of cleaning basic stains. And any differences they do have in that way are often overcome by just making a few extra passes over the stains. The real question for me is which one works for your specific application, and what are the pros and cons of buying a cheaper one over a more expensive one. So I wanted to very quickly go over everything I know about the current carpet cleaner scene with some observations I think are important, and I'll make specific recommendations at the end. So links in the description, and let's get started. There are 4 basic types of consumer carpet cleaners. The newest type, the compact versions, are the cheapest. Then we have the budget midsize, the premium midsize, and the commercial type, which are the most expensive. All of these work the same basic way. You fill up their clean water tank with warm water and their solution. Most of them have a trigger that sprays the water solution mix on the carpets. They all have brushes of some kind on the bottom that scrub the stain as you go back and forth, and they all suck up the dirty water as you go. Starting off with the compact category, this would include models like the Bissell Turbo Clean Power Brush Pet and the Hoover Power Dash. The thing you need to know here is that these are not meant for cleaning anything more than a spot or two on your carpet at a time. If you plan on cleaning your whole house with these, it can be done, but it would be really frustrating. The main problem is the tank size. These smaller ones hold only about a half a gallon on average, so you'll be doing the in-depth chore of emptying the dirty water tank and refilling the clean water tank many times. For example, the half-gallon Hoover Power Dash was only able to cover about 65 square feet in my test, and that was with only 1 wet pass and 1 dry pass, in other words, the minimum amount of water. But if you were trying to clean spots, you would probably be using a lot more passes and a lot more water on those spots, so in practice, probably a lot less than 65 square feet per tank. Another problem is that none of these compact carpet cleaners come with a hose or attachments for use for manual spot cleaning like all the others we'll look at today do. And when it comes to tough spot cleaning, if your goal is the cleanest you can get your carpets, you're probably going to need to scrub it manually for best results. So not having the option for a hose or attachments with these compact types is a con. That being said, these compact types are perfectly fine for most stains, and if you value weight, simplicity, and price, and all you're looking for is something to handle light to moderate stains in small areas, you'll probably be happy with one of these. Moving on to the budget and premium midsize options, these all have slightly bigger tanks at around 1 gallon, so they can get more square footage before having to empty and refill the tanks. For example, on full power, the Hoover Spin Scrub Deluxe got around 1.5 times on my 7x10 foot area, so about 105 square feet. But with most of these midsize units, their spray amounts can be adjusted, so you can get a lot more square footage than that if you're willing to use less water. And I think this is the minimum size you would need if you have plans on using it for larger jobs like your whole house. All of the budget and premium midsize options have hoses and attachments, which are all pretty easy to attach and use for spots or upholstery. As I said before, I think the hose adds a lot of value. There is some variation in terms of what kinds of attachments that each model comes with. But in my opinion, I've never found much use for even the most complex hose attachments. I still prefer the most basic attachment that all of them come with some version of. One big difference is the brush style. A lot of manufacturers have been moving to a 2-brush model, which did seem to be slightly better than the 1-brush model in the tests I did. But there's also some like the Hoover Spin Scrubs, which use a spinning brush system, which I think is on par with the 2-brush style and has the advantage of being able to clean longer shag-type carpets, where the standard 2-brush carpet cleaners would immediately get bogged down. With all the mid-size versions, you tend to get more power than the smaller ones in terms of motor size, which translates to better suction, generally speaking. For most people, I think one of these budget mid-sized units is all they're going to need at the least possible cost. The premium mid-size units like the Bissell 2X series and the Hoover Smartwash series mostly offer more bells and whistles than the budget options. For example, the Hoover Smartwash will automatically dispense the liquid for you instead of using a trigger. They tend to be more solid feeling. They also tend to have more attachments, longer cords, and hoses. But to me, the main reason I would go with a premium one over a budget one is because of features like the one on the Bissell 2X Revolution Pet Pro called the Clean Shot, where you can hit a button with your foot and it will spray liquid right on the stain. I like this because, as I said earlier, for tough spots, the best you can do is scrubbing it yourself manually. But if you don't want to go through all that trouble, the next best thing is the combination of targeted solution on the stain and scrubbing it with the 2-brush system. So the convenience is that you can clean even tougher stains without breaking out the hose and getting on your hands and knees. And it remains my favorite in the premium midsize category. Next up is the large commercial carpet cleaners like the Rug Doctors or the Bissell Big Green machines. These are meant to be used if you have a lot of carpets to clean, like entire houses, or if you're going to be using it very often. They can do larger spaces because they have a lot more water capacity than the mid-size versions. They also have a larger cleaning path width and are much more powerful than the others. For example, the Big Green has a 12 amp motor to the 6.8 amp motor on the Bissell Revolution Pet Pro, so it takes less passes to clean as well. All that translates to a much more efficient use of time and water. For example, with the Big Green, I was able to clean my 70 square foot space 5 times, so that's 350 square feet per tank. And I can tell you that's a big deal not to have to constantly empty and refill those tanks. In my opinion, the commercial types are a must-have if you plan on using this a lot. That's because the build quality is vastly superior on these than any others we've mentioned. Both the Bissell Big Green and the Rug Doctors are used in rental fleets around the country and are designed to take a lot of abuse. Both of them also have virtually all of their parts sold by the companies at reasonable prices online, so you can expect these to last a long time. The commercial types also come with hoses and attachments for spot cleaning as well. Though I've never been able to see that much of a difference in terms of their performance, I've always preferred the Big Green, mostly because of it being able to clean in both the forward push and the backward pull, where the Rug Doctor Mighty Pro X3 only cleans on the backward pull, which seems less efficient. They do have a newer model, the Rug Doctor Professional, that does this too, though I still prefer the Big Green. With all that said, here are my personal picks for each category. With the compact versions, I like the Hoover Power Scrub. They're all so similar, but the Hoover has a larger motor for the same basic price. For the budget midsize category, I like the Hoover Spin Scrub Deluxe. It's almost as cheap as the Power Scrub, so it's a good value. It's a tried and true model that's been around for almost 10 years. There is an elite version of the Spin Scrub, which I also tested, but I didn't see much benefit in the upgrade. The Bissell 2X Revolution Pet Pro Max is still my pick for the midsize premium carpet cleaner. And as I mentioned, for the commercial category, I like the Bissell Big Green. It's been around forever as well, lots of parts available online, and ergonomically, I just like it better than the Rug Doctors, at least from what I have seen. Links in the description, and be sure to subscribe to Vacuum Wars before you leave. Thanks for watching.